Well, let's try to raise. Get him down to 8. Got him on a 2-turn clock. Hopefully they don't just... Yeah! Yes! That feels so good. That feels so good. Hi everyone, my name's Kyle. Welcome to my channel, Arena Hacks, and thank you for stopping by to check out my video. If you're brand new to Arena Hacks, go check out my beginner's guide section because it's full of all kinds of great stuff to help you build your collection when you're just getting started. Otherwise on this channel, I like to cover all kinds of budget decks, ongoing tips and tricks for growing your collection and keeping your collection up to date on MTG Arena, and also just all kinds of fun, just really fun decks like this one here that I'm doing today. And it's an interesting one. The idea for this deck for me came from when I was, can't remember what deck I was playing. I think it was the mono green deck I did recently with Bone Crusher, mono green with Bone Crusher. And yeah, I think I had Toski in that deck. I had a lot of card draw. And I just got thinking, I don't know if it was during the gameplay, I'm like, how awesome would it be if we put Deathtouch on Toski? That would be freaking sweet. So I kind of made a deck based on just that entirely. Now there's other ideas and themes. As I was building the deck, I was like, you know, asking myself questions that we always ask ourselves when we build decks. So, you know, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do for mana? Blah, blah, blah. All this stuff. So starting over here, we got all the removal. Starting off with Bloodchief's Thirst, 1 mana removal for destroying creature or planeswalker with mana value 2 or less. If it's kicked, which is just 2 colorless and 2 black in total, is what you'll be paying when you kick it, you can just destroy any target creature or planeswalker, unless it has indestructible or something like that, or hexproof, then you can't target it. But Blizzard Brawl is another removal, solid removal for decks that have snow synergies in it. Oh, I also forgot to mention rotation proof. That's another big theme for this deck. Rotation proof. Remember that. I should have said that right at the beginning, but we're still early on. Rotation proof. Here we go. On we go. Awesome sorcery speed removal. It sucks that it's sorcery speed removal, but honestly, if this was instant, it would have to be at least 2 mana or more maybe, because it's just too powerful when you have 3 or more snow permanents. Well, first of all, it's just a spell, 1 mana. Target creature you control fights target creature you don't control. Standard fight spell, 1 green mana. That's pretty awesome that it's so low for like another side thing on it. But if you control 3 or more snow permanents, the creature you control gets +1/+0 and gains indestructible until end of turn. That's freaking sweet. Then those creatures fight after that. I like how it reiterated. They fight after. Obviously, we're not giving this boost to your creature after the fight already happens, right? The idea is to give the boost before, but I like how they put that extra sentence in there. It's before they fight each other, before. But yeah, so that's great removal, especially in a Deathtouch deck, which when you want to put Deathtouch on Toski, you kind of make a deck built around that and you get a lot of Deathtouch. So since we have a lot of that, Blizzard Brawl is really freaking awesome. Binding of the Old Gods is also really sweet for Deathtouch decks. Usually you're in the green-black mana area, and yeah, like this, it gives you extra removal for 4 mana instead of 2 black. It's 1 green though, and it's just like the Bloodchief's Thirst. The turn you play it, it's sorcery speed, which Bloodchief's Thirst is as well, and just non-land permanent though. Ooh yeah, non-land permanent instead of creature or planeswalker. So it's a little bit better in that respect, that it's like a kicked Bloodchief's Thirst. But you can remove more stuff. Anyways, second turn you get to search your library for a forest card, put that card onto the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. So this really helps with fixing our mana too. If we need any more green or black sources, we do have a full set of Woodland Chasms, which counts as forests, so we can tutor them up with Binding of the Old Gods and then actually get black mana out of it, which is actually really handy for fixing our mana. Also a bit of mana ramp too. The turn after we play it, we get more mana. So if we're not drawing into it, it just keeps us running, keeps us flowing, and yeah, it just keeps everything going, and that's what you want. Creatures you control gain Deathtouch on the final stage of this saga, which is really freaking awesome because this is one of the ways we put Deathtouch on Toski. Right? Really fun. He only gets it for 1 turn, but still you tack in with a bunch of Deathtouch creatures and you have Toski on the battlefield. Oh, that is nasty. Your opponent doesn't want to block any of it because their creatures die. Yet you're going to draw so many cards, and it's like, oh, just brutal. Just brutal. Rune of Mortality, this is good for more card draw. It also, this whole section I just moved over. This is the Deathtouch section of the deck. So we've got Rune of Mortality to give Deathtouch to any of our creatures that don't have Deathtouch. Here, that's not a creature. And Toski, here. That's the big one. That's what I talked about at the very beginning. That's what gave me the idea for this deck. So that's the big one, is putting Deathtouch on Toski. But as an aura, when we play it, we also get to draw a card as a rune aura, more like. They all do that. So, yeah, it just gives us Deathtouch to a creature that doesn't already have it. Fynn the Fangbearer, because if you're playing with Deathtouch, it's Fynn, man. Like, it's a win con on his own. I mean, we could substitute Fynn for, like, that Blightblade Zendikar, that 1-mana Deathtoucher. He's not as good because it's only a 1-1, not a 1-3. A 1-mana 1-1 Deathtouch is great, but a 2-mana 1-3 Deathtouch, that's really freaking awesome. So that's the big thing with Fynn. Cheville would have been an interesting, fun one to put in this deck, but again, rotation proof, right? And Cheville's not going to survive rotation. He's also a 2-mana 1-3 Deathtoucher, so that would have been really freaking sweet there as well. But as you all know, he's got, yeah, I've already said 2-mana Deathtouch, 1-3, I went through all that. As you all know, whenever you have a Fynn on the battlefield and a Deathtouch creature you control deals combat damage to a player, they get 2 poison counters. That's 5 strikes and they're dead. And it doesn't matter how much life they gain or what. You can say 5 strikes from a 4-powered creature would also kill your opponent. But if they're gaining life in the process, they can take that damage and still not die. Whereas with the poison counters, it don't work that way. Unless they have some way of removing those poison counters, they're just pretty much screwed. So getting on to after that, more Deathtouch, Nighthawk Scavenger. One of my favorite Deathtouch creatures since Zendikar printed this guy. I think I just blew my rare wild cards on this guy right away. It was before I started the channel and everything, but I maybe got 1 copy in packs or something like that, and I'm just like, I need him so bad. I was so into Deathtouch at the time too. I still kind of am. It's a really great ability to just put all over your deck. So fun. But anyways, he's also got flying and lifelink to go with the Deathtoucher. Other than that, he's a 3-mana 1-3, but he gets an extra +1 to the number, or to his power. He gets an extra +1 for each card in your opponent's graveyard that has, or each different type of card. So I think sorcery would be a type, instant would be a type, creature would be a type, stuff like that. So late game, he can be a win con too. He's got the evasion with the flying, he's got the Deathtouch so nobody wants to block him. And the flying with the evasion, he gets stronger as the game goes on and people's graveyards start to build up more and more. So he gets more and more powerful. We can also throw counters on him with the next card in this. This is some more of our card draw as well. But we can put +1/+1 counters on him as well with Blessing of Frost. Since we have so many snow lands and snow permanents, it's really easy to cast this and get 4 +1/+1 counters on. And we're usually drawing at least 2 cards with this spell. Sometimes we get kind of screwed for 1. And on occasion we do get to draw 3 cards with it. Because if you read the end there, after you cast the spell, you get X +1/+1 counters for each snow mana, 1 for each snow mana you spend to cast the spell's cost, total of 4 cost. Therefore, 4 is the maximum for X, and like we pretty much always get that. We do always get that. I'll get to the lands later. I'll explain why that's a little iffy, but I'll get to that later. Anyways, so where is it? Then you draw cards, a card for each creature you control with power 4 or greater. So those +1/+1 counters do help with that, but in some situations we do get screwed. We only have Toski on the field because he's indestructible, so we only have Toski. We get to draw 1 card. So the card advantage with Blessing of Frost is not super awesome, but you do get some card draw, which is pretty cool, and it does help us wrap up the game by getting extra power out there. As you notice, so far, even with Toski now, we still don't have that much power on the board. This guy does grow a little bit, but I mean, how many different types of cards are there in Magic? He can maybe, at most, get +6 or 7 to his power. I guess that would be pretty awesome, but it's hard to get there. Who's going to get every single type of card, different type of card in their graveyard, right? So to get him so powerful and end the game is a little tricky. He's more of a slow game ender. You use your, you gain life with him, you use your removal, you scare him with Fynn. Maybe you can get the poison counter death, maybe you can't. They shoot Fynn down first and you finish the game with Scavenger. Stuff like that. That's what he's good for. Toski, you guys all know Toski from my last video. Indestructible, can't be countered. This guy is so sweet. I love that, can't be countered. Oh, love that, can't be countered. He attacks each combat if able, which kind of sucks because he's a 1/1 for 4 mana, but he's indestructible, so it balances out. And whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you draw a card, which is really sweet. With all the Deathtouch we have in here, we're getting poison counters on people. They really don't want to block, but they can't afford to not block because we draw cards, all that fun stuff. This whole section of cards, I'm a little iffy on. I think this is the area of the deck that could be maybe improved a little bit or made to synergize with the rest of it. So let's go take a look at the number of lands, because since these 8 cards between the Florahedron and the Rebirth, these 8 cards are also lands, or MDFCs. So we have 20 lands in total with a curve of 2.4 or an average of 2.4. So highest mana cost is 4 in the deck, so it's not that high, which is why we only have 20 lands. But that's just these lands here. So these are 8 additional lands, giving us 28 in total. 28 cards in total that can be played as lands. The idea with these guys is to get the mana dork for ramp, so that maybe you can get a 3rd turn Toski on the field or something like that. And then this is obviously meant to be more of a protection makeshift, but if you're getting screwed for mana, you can play these guys tapped as their tapped lands. But with these 4 tap lands here, that puts, if you think about it that way, there's like 12 tap lands in the deck. So it's like, but we should get by with these 20. These guys, they're not supposed to be lands. The idea is to not play them as lands. So this is where I think it could be iffy. I feel like I get stuck for tap lands a lot, but I'm like, I only have 4. Not really. You actually have 12. So, yeah, I'm not sure what else to say on that. I do like the ramp from this guy. Maybe he can be swapped with a Deathtoucher like the Draugr Blightblade or whatever. Something like that that will survive rotation as well. Yeah, I don't know, because I really like Malakir Rebirth. I don't cast it a lot with this deck, but there's a few times with Destroy effect board wipes where I've saved my Fynn, and it's just like, yeah, it's really fun to just pull that 1 mana, I save my creature's butt out, like just whip it out, yeah, and it really comes in handy. You have to pay 2 life for it, but it's not that bad. The last creature in the deck that we have here is the Draugr Necromancer. This guy's really cool. If a non-token creature an opponent controls would die, exile that card with an ice counter instead. So a key here you have to remember is that you're exiling your opponent's non-token creature that's dying. Yes, we'll get to the rest of this guy's ability, how you can take control of it, blah, blah, we'll get to that. But a key thing here is I was up against a Witherbloom deck, and I didn't even notice at first that when I killed their creature, I'm like, why am I not getting pinged by their Bastion? And it's because their non-token creatures were getting exiled. They weren't dying, so he wasn't getting the triggers. Even he was confused at first a little bit. They were like, what's going on? And then I was like, oh my god, the Necromancer, and I started stealing their stuff. And I basically won that game against Witherbloom because of this guy. So, like, and preventing a lot of damage. When they sacrifice their pest tokens, yeah, it doesn't matter. You still take the damage because it says non-token right on it. But the other really cool thing about this guy is we can use him as a bit of a win con because we start stealing all our opponent's stuff that we kill. Their creatures anyways that we kill. So they have a nice big creature, we hit it with a Binding of the Old Gods, a Blizzard Brawl with our Deathtouch, or a Bloodchief's Thirst. And then the next turn, the turn after that, because we have so many snow lands, and those are the only things we can spend as any mana color. So you may cast spells from the exile cards with ice counters on them. That's why you put the ice counter, so you can only cast those cards. And you spend mana from snow sources as though they're mana of any color. So we have so much snow sources, it's basically like a Robber of the Rich. It's mana of any color when they steal a card. So except he's more mana and he's a 4/4 and he works differently, but really fun. I can't decide between Blessing and Frost and Draugr Necromancer. You know, when I put them in here, I was like, I only have 2 of each for starters, but I'm like, well, do I use the wild cards? I don't know which is better. So maybe we'll find out in the gameplay which one is better and which way to go. Also, I have no pathways in here, and I feel like that was a mistake. But we'll do that in the post-game wrap-up. I'll make that adjustment. And other than that, let's just get to that gameplay and see how it goes. All right. looking pretty good finally. We're going first. Things are finally looking looking a little bit on the bright side. Basic lands, love to see that. All the colors we need too. Really nice. Really nice. So really like seeing that. Basics are always untapped. Maybe we should have played the Mire first. I don't know, maybe. Well, that would have been nice to play first turn. Even before the Mire, it would have been better. They have black. If we throw Fynn out, if we rush Fynn down, we might just get blown up, but then so will our Nighthawk Scavenger. Let's just go for it. They blow it up, they blow it up. We got other awesome things. Nighthawk Scavengers and Toskis, and we can put Deathtouch on a Toski. We get Toski, of course. Oh, and we're up against Witherbloom. Okay. Alright, Witherbloom. What you getting out of your sideboard? That exile thing? You're going to want to target our Fynn, right? And kill it right away. Nope, getting more pests. Backup Fynn. Okay, that's cool. Now we're looking like maybe we're going to try to use Fynn as a win con. We're gonna use Win as a Fynn con. Using Win as a Fynn con. Love it. So I say they should just block. It's Witherbloom, right? They don't care about that pest. They shouldn't really care too much. They should care more about those poison counters than the pest right now. Like, every time with Fynn, every time a death-touched creature deals damage, that's 1/5 towards losing the game. Because it's 2 counters, 2 poisons, yeah. There you go. 2 poison counters, right? You do that 5 times, opponent loses. That's 10, opponent loses, right? So you gotta think about that. That's like basically doing... What would you do 5 times? 4. That's like doing... That's basically like a 4 damage creature going through every time. 5 times and you're dead from 20 health. Except you can regain health back. Poison counters, you can't really do much about those. I say we go for putting more poison counters on. They're probably going to block because they're going to do Draining Gain from the Bastion this time. So easily, yeah, they block a lot faster this time. Not surprised. We take a little bit of the hit. Then we get our flying evasive Deathtoucher out. Did I miss a land? Oh my god, I missed the land drop. I am so stupid. I can't believe I missed that. Oh my god. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. Now we got it. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. Alright, well, I say we Binding of the Old Gods, one of them nasty bastions over there. And then we swing on in, that way they only ping us for 1. And this time we're basically surefire getting some poison counters on there. Alright, but we gain 3 life in the process, so we're negating that one. Our life gain is actually negating the bastions pinging us. It's like we're actually higher life total than they are. Here they go for our Fynn. That's why when I saw the second Fynn, I'm like, alright, poison counters are, maybe that's our win con. Maybe that's our win con now. Because now it seems doable. So we gotta play Fynn before we attack, so we get the poison counters. I guess that's all we do. There's no point. I don't really want to play Rune of Mortality yet. We have no mana, not enough for Blessing of Frost. So yeah, let's just drop Fynn, swing in, 4 damage, 4 life. Sweet deal. Mwah. I really want to get the card out of it, but I hate when we already have Deathtouch. This is for our Mana Dorks. What else? This is for Toski. This is for anything else we have that might not have Deathtouch, which I think we mostly do. And yes, it's for card draw. Well, that's kind of... Okay, so we'll still have enough for Rebirth after we cast this. We can do a bunch of damage with Nighthawk. We can pump up Fynn. We need 3 counters for Fynn to draw us an extra card. So let's do it. Okay with that. Oh, show. 3 counters, that'll draw us an extra card. Do we want to go 4 anyways? No, let's go extra here for life gain. Submit there, draw 2 cards. Oh, baby. And then we hold up Rebirth for our Fynn, because we need to get poison counters through. That's a lot of damage, too. 7, they're getting 8. Wow. They might have something for Fynn. This is why we're holding Malakir Rebirth. 30 health. We are putting it to a freaking Witherbloom deck. Wow. And they're coming at us with good stuff too. They were rocking 2 Bastions. We've got the tools to take down their second one now. Oh man. Oh man. 1 Deathtouch away from losing because of poison counters. Good game. Ah! Get in there. There we go. Got it. Oh man. That's how this deck is supposed to work. Again, we do not get... Do I not have enough creatures in this deck? I thought I had more creatures than non-creatures. I feel like I ran into this a little bit during testing, too. I was like, why am I never seeing my... Why am I mulliganing so much for not seeing... Or no. Was that a different deck? Maybe that was a different deck. I'm like, no, wait. This deck, when I was in testing, was actually, like, crazy. I, like, never wanted to mulligan. Come on, opponent. Or Arena, can you just let me pick now? Even if it's like, just let me put in, let me like submit or something that I would like to mulligan. I was hovering over the keep area. I don't know why. Oh, come on. 2 drops. God, I know I have like, this is the first time we've seen this guy in like, I don't know how many games. It's our only green mana too. And we got a ditch 2? Come on, Shuffler, come on. Goes so much better with Fynn though. God, I need removal. And I need this. And I need this. Whoa, that's not what I wanted to do. I really don't want to get rid of removal. I really don't want to get rid of Fynn or this guy though. Should maybe get rid of Fynn, go removal, hold out for Scavenger. We have the lands for it. Those first 2 hands are ridiculous. And we're on the draw, which I guess is a little better because we had the double mulligan, so we get an extra. We do get the extra card, but we are a turn behind as well. So now I kind of want to see if I can play this out as a creature. Let's try it. It just gets us a little dork on the battlefield to distract or get in the way or whatever we need. Casting it for... Are you serious with the Tibalt stuff? People are still doing that? That's still not banned? That's like... That's as bad as... That's like Ugin. Like, how is that not banned yet? And of course, there's nothing we can hit it with. Do anything about. Yeah, we don't have the mana with our... So we can attack into this. Just battlefield art. Next one, I returns 3 snow lands, return either to its owner's hand. So we have to. Got a chomp block. Do we play this out as a creature? I want to guarantee that we can Bloodchief's Thirst that thing next turn. So we play this out as a creature and don't block. They might just have removal for it. How fast they're going to be working on their second Tybalt's Trickery. They might even be holding it up as a counter, so they might just counter this right here. Yeah, it's sticking. It's waiting for... They have some kind of... instant speed something or other. Like counter it with Tybalt's. Well, they actually do have blue. Ooh. I barely even noticed that. I was thinking they were countering our Bloodchiefs with trickery. Well, there's nothing we can do for 1 mana, so let's just pack away. Let's go Scavenger. There's decent amount of stuff in the graveyard. We can start gaining life here if they can't kill it. I really wonder what those 4 cards are in their hand. Because they're praying for another Tybalt's trick. Here they go. Yeah. Here's another one. And I get that stupid whale. That's the worst. And we have to attack with everything every turn, so yeah. Because of this stupid thing. So you can just block that, and then we don't have to attack every turn. Okay. Interesting. How many more of those tricks do they have? They got enough mana now, they can start hard casting stuff if they want. Come on. Well, let's try to raise. Get him down to 8. That's got him on a 2-turn clock. Hopefully they don't just... Yeah! Yes! That feels so good. That feels so good. You shoved 2 Tybalt trickeries in our face? That's why that card sucks. Yeah! Love it. Come on, mana. Come on. What is this? Well, we can literally play everything except Scavenger, so it's kind of sketchy, but we got Deathtouch into Toski into... I don't know, maybe... just because... maybe I should mulligan? They kept their hand. We're on the draw. Now let's play around. Let's gamble a bit. Alright, they come out with a tap land. We can't do anything on our first turn anyways. I don't think I can in this deck. Everything's at least 2 mana or more. Blizzard Brawl, but you need creatures out for that to be worth... Oh, and this one's only 1 as well. Okay, now I'm starting to... Oh, I should have played this as a land, maybe? No, we got enough forest. We need his black mana. A Myers whatever thing would be not too bad. Fynn? Let's go Fynn. Let's make them worry a little bit about us, about poison counters. Looks like they got a heavy kind of control deck. 3rd turn. They're not really doing much. Looks like there's our black source, or at least one of them. So let's see if we can get some poison counters on them. Can. No stick. Do they have a counter spell? Maybe they have a counter spell of some kind. No? No? Okay then. Okie dokie then. We still need that other black source so we can play Scavenger, which would go really good with Fynn. If not, we can go our forest into Toski, start drawing cards. Ah, there it is. And even hits. At least we didn't do it. We did it. They played that before we had our Toski out. I think we need to get some card draw going. Hopefully they don't have more of those, which they probably do. Or whatever else they need. Control decks just do. That's how they win. Just draw all the perfect spells in the perfect order, and there you go. I'm not sure what this is. What are they? Are they going for ultimatum here, maybe? Okay, they could be, yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that looks like what it probably is. Maybe, what do we got? Blue, green, black, right? So we're getting green from this. They're getting green from this. Blue, 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 black, black. Yeah, okay. Alright, well, that's really sucky. Oh, we can't play 2 black. That's why we can't kick it. I'm like, we have enough, but yeah, you need a second black to kick that thing. Dang it. Toski has to attack, but it's not going to really do much any good. Nobody's going to do much any good. You can throw this guy down, but they definitely have another board wipe or something like that. Let's hold them off. Let's go with the Florahedron. Attack with Toski, because we have to, as always, and then just call it a turn. Taking some extra turns. What else you got? Okay, more extra turns. More turns? Probably. So what is it? 4 in the air? 3 on the ground? Let's chump the 3. We really need both Scavenger and... Are you serious? More turns. Yeah, that's just wide attack. Like, come on, guy. You're enough of an a-hole as it is already. Just attack. Alright, so hopefully our opponent's playing a real deck instead of one that everyone knows is clearly rigged with the shuffler to get everything you want. Like, what is it with the freaking control decks in this program? It's just like... Yeah, you want to cast all your Elrond's Epiphanies turn after turn. So here you go. There you go. We'll just give it to you on a silver platter. They didn't dig at all for it. No digging, no scrying, no card draw. Not that I can remember. Some Fabled Passages, land grabs, mana ramp, that's it. Like, no card draw, no nothing. And this is, of course, we get all our heavy mana costing stuff. How much more do we have in the deck? I clicked it. Come on, assistant. When I click the button, work. I always have to click a million times. Alright, well, we got some sort of ramp here, maybe. Maybe. If we're lucky. And we can maybe hit at least Scavenger by our 3rd turn, even if we don't draw another land. And if they don't kill our Florahedron. Oh, black mana, they will kill our Florahedron. Actually, we can't go Scavenger 3rd turn unless we have a 2nd black anyways, which is there. Hello. And we can just go straight into Scavenger. That's clearly what the program is trying to tell us here. That you should play the Nighthawk Scavenger. Oh, this is one of those days where we're just never going to get a shuffled hand, are we? Or, you know, it's just going to be like this. Well, that's not a bad draw. Can't complain about that at all. And you can at least get some poison counters in through the air with our evasiveness. And then here's their removal, right? On our Fynn. No? I thought they were targeting it there with something. What do you got? You punk. Either way, next turn we're going into Toski. There's going to be an indestructible blocker for one of these guys. And then we're going to keep putting flying counters with our flying, which is also going to get us card draw from it. No, let's let that go through. It's only 1 extra damage on top of... Oh, wow. I guess the game is telling us we need to play Toski now. I guess that's the play. I don't know what else to do. I mean, when we only have so much in our... Hey, something else! This is what I mean. It's one of those days. Can we get multiple copies of... These guys are good. One Toski and maybe a whole bunch of other stuff. Okay. Well, we got more, so that's cool. So maybe if they attack him with their Blight Fangs, we need to start killing him. Maybe not. Well, no, that's a lot of life drainage there. I don't think our... One more try. We'll leave Toski out. We'll put Toski out again. Oh, come on, mana! Where's our mana? So that won't kill him if we attack in with both. We can go like this, get some life gain. Help us survive a bit, get some card draw. There's some mana. Let's kill that rat so they can't attack with it. Bang. We've almost got him dead with poison counters. That's definitely gonna get the Deathtouch there. So we can block one of the Blight Fangs. They can still get 4 damage around us just by attacking with both of them. Okay, just 2 damage by attacking with one. Absorb the damage with Toski. Okay, so we do have... Yes, this will give indestructible. So we can gain life and get rid of one of these guys. Let's attack first. Whoop. Yeah, we have to attack with Toski. I get it. They're just going to absorb it with their Grim Dancer. They can't block the Nighthawk Scavenger, so we're going good here. Ooh, they let them both go, so we get multiple card draw here. Alright, so, yes, some more green here. That's beautiful. Play this. We can also play a Blizzard Brawl. Ooh, this is so sweet. On this guy, your Grim Dancer can attack through. We don't care anymore. You're not getting free damage around us. We're at 25 life. Thank you, Nighthawk Scavenger, and your lifelink. Wow. They pinged us so much with that freaking snake. What is it? Hooded Blight Fang? Ah! What a pump. Oh well, there's more where that came from. Because the shuffler is so perfectly fine. Alright, well what else do you have? Do you have all the answers now because the shuffler's perfectly fine? Kind of. Because now we have like literally no Nighthawk Scavengers left. Whatsoever. So we can cast this and still have enough for Blizzard Brawl. So we're going to get 5 in. Draw another card. Thank you, Toski. Get rid of this so you can stop hitting us with it. You better not. You better not. Good. 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 Binding. We have nothing to kill. This is the Mire. Well, let's just attack, get a card draw. We have no haste, so Toski's going to be the only thing that gets us card draw this turn anyways. I wonder if they did like -5/-5, if this would bring our Toski back. I don't see why. Oh, come on. I don't see why it wouldn't. Let's just get this guy down. Just to threaten lethal next turn. And we hold this up in case they do something to him. We can get him back and then still attack with him next turn. Depending on their draw. Okay. Deal with that. There it is. Just had our removal with our binding, and then we get through unblocked. No, we don't want to do that. We're good. All right, everybody. So that was the gameplay. What do you think of the deck? I think it's pretty fun when things are flowing smoothly and working well. What did you guys think of Blessing of Frost and the Necromancer, like I mentioned in the intro there in the beginning? Do you think I should drop one for the other? Like, I don't know. Like, I keep thinking about that. I think about how much I use one. I go, I should drop the other. And then I go to Blessing of Frost and I go, oh, but yeah, how useful that is. And that's really come in clutch a few times too. Oh, maybe I should drop the Necromancer. And then the whole cycle repeats. Oh, but he comes in so... And oh my god, what do I... Like, I can't decide between the two if I should just keep them 2 ofs each. Or, since I was saying maybe the Florahedron can go or the Rebirth. And I'm leaning more towards the Florahedron because I really like that Rebirth, as I mentioned in the beginning. Maybe I drop all 4 copies of Hedron and we go 4 copies of each Necromancer and Blessing of Frost. What do you guys think of that? We're raising the curve when we do that. I was struggling in the few games there. I wanted my lower mana stuff. I kept drawing into the higher costing stuff. And I think in this deck you have to be used to playing the first 2 turns possibly without doing anything. 3rd turn is when you might be getting into stuff, right? Hopefully if you get a good card draw by that 3rd turn, you'll be hitting removal, creatures, all kinds of fun stuff. And if you're up against aggro, hopefully those first 2 turns won't be super detrimental against you, right? Because that's something else I did notice of the deck. It doesn't seem to come out really fast. It's definitely a slow start. Unless you happen to get one of these 2 guys, then you're doing something on your 2nd turn, but it's kind of, yeah, right? So let me know what you guys think of all that. Do you like the deck? Let's take a look at the stats here. Drag this over. So we got, let's go to here, look at our graph. So we started out kind of bad. Not all these games are in it. I think this last chunk, these last 4 games are in it. The first 3 were just me playing around, kind of the first few games I did with the deck. So a little struggle off the start. Then it seemed like I kind of either got the hang of it or things started flowing better. I don't know if this is a shuffler thing, but I always feel like when I first create a deck, the very first few games I play with it, it's like the shuffling is awful, like just terrible. Like I'm getting so many copies of so many cards, and it's like I can't do anything. You're not giving me all my cards. You're like, and then it's like a few games later, things get. I don't know. But anyways, yeah. So this is the deck. These are the guys I went up against. I think it looks pretty good. This is just all play, so. Maybe some adjustments, and it might not be too bad in a little bit more competitive stuff. Again, let me know what you guys all think about all this stuff. If you haven't subscribed already, definitely hit that down in that corner, or that corner. At the bottom right corner of your screen, there will be a subscribe button. If you haven't hit that, I know there's 80-some-odd% of you. I haven't checked it today. Could be different, but over 80% of you are watching and have not subscribed. Hit that subscribe button. Please, it helps. It'll make it easier to watch my stuff. Other than that, if you're brand new to MTGA, go check out my beginner's guide stuff. And I hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you at the next video. Cheers.